Yes, we greet you tuned in to Magic TV. Thank you so much for keeping it with us. My name is Michael Jordan Lokomwa, and I'm coming in here for the first time on the Magic Campus Talk. And this time round, why do I have to feature? Because we're going to discuss leadership. NKUMBA University is one of the many big universities in this country. It is along Entebbe Road. If you have gone to the airport, you must have seen their signpost and their premises. They are having their guild presidential elections for this academic year. So we want to know who is the best of the three candidates. We have them here, and we are putting up a test to get to know who thinks what, who has what plan for the students community and the whole university NKUMBA. My name is Michael Jordan Lukomwa. Join me, welcome the three candidates here and the audience, including some of their supporters here with us. We have three men, there is no lady. We have Mr. Mushabe Lawrence. He is a member of the National Resistance Movement, a student of mass communication, year 2. We have Mr. Mpanga Tazan. He's an independent candidate, a student of law, year 3. And we have Nsereko Joseph, a member of the National Unity Platform, still a student of law. Gentlemen, you're most welcome. Yes, we congratulate you on your nomination and being that you are candidates. We are here to ask you a few questions for your people to know, the voters to know who you are in terms of what you think for the university and what you have been planned for them as a student community. So, Mr. Mushabe, tell us about yourself briefly and why you think you're the best of the three. Let's start from there.
My name is Lawrence Mushabe, a student at NKUMBA University pursuing Bachelor's of Science in Journalism and Public Relations. I'm coming into these guild elections holding the NRM ticket, and very soon on Saturday we are going to be we're going to let students have their choice of a leader they would love to have, who is going to fight for them and who is going to defend the entire university. I'm a student who is coming now to fight for other students. NKUMBA University, all the students that are there, we want to request you now that we've come into this race. We have come to fight for students. We've come to let the university feel represented. When it comes to the views of students, let's now get represented. We've had the challenges of the pandemic. We've had the challenges of students having the insufficient rights to study, but we are now back. We are back and we want to feel students represented. We want now to have the new leadership that is going to take on this new move, catching up with the new normal, and we must feel represented. We do have a lot of things that we are bringing on board. Today actually is when I'm launching my manifesto. My media team is on ground. After here, we shall have to be looking through what we've said for our institution to make sure that now we are set to represent students. We have a couple of views that we've brought on board when it comes to academics. I will first of all credit our institution and say that we have had a chance that our institution is one of the best institutions in Uganda actually that has performed well when it comes to e-learning system. Our students managed to get into the e-learning system. You created all your students' portals, and we started the access to study on the e-learning or online studies. And we've been moving on so well that we've gotten a chance even to, after doing each and everything, how can a student, during this pandemic, how can a student cope up in this pandemic? We have a chance that all results have been released on the e-learning system, and it has actually helped us. But what we need to do now, we need to expertise the system. We need to bring in new technologies to make sure that now we've been the best. How can we make it to stay standing up to the next level? We have had some of the challenges that now we need to tackle in each and every corner. We've had some of the issues that when we get into the side of during the period of examinations, that some of our students have faced some challenges of failing to sit for exams due to some failures, either failure to pay the fees failure to pay the tuition. But now we come in now to set the new standards, the new ideologies. How can we make sure that a student who's been psychologically tortured by the pandemic can cope up within these periods? That let's now the university engage the university administration. We set new structures. Let's have now new ideologies.
Thank you so much, Mr. Musabe. Lawrence, yes, the 3 minutes are over. Okay. You were asked to tell us about yourself and why you think you're the best among the 3. That is what you had for that particular question in 3 minutes. Thank you so much. And let me have the gentleman on your immediate left, Mr. Mpanga Tazan, a student of laws at NKUMBA University. Sir, tell us about yourself briefly and why you think among the 3 men who want to be guild president at NKUMBA University, you think you are the best.
Thank you, Jordan, and the entire viewers that are watching us. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, NKUMBA University students. I'm well assured you are on set and watching Tazan Mpanga present what he has in store for you. Well, as I have been introduced, my name is Tazan Mpanga, a student at NKUMBA University, pursuing a degree in laws, currently in my 3rd year. I am an independent student in this race. And let me put this to you, that the issues we are facing at NKUMBA University, they are not political in nature. So do not be deceived. They are administrative in nature. So as you are a student there, have it in mind, have it at the back of your mind, that the issues we are having as students at NKUMBA are administrative in nature. Going to what I have in store for you as my fellow students. Well, Tazan Mpanga is as a disgruntled student, as you are there. Many of you have issues. I identify myself with you. That is why I think I'm the best candidate in this race. Many of them might be here for political gain. We are here to say, no, the student voices must be heard. Our university goes by the motto that I owe you. I'm a student saying, no, you say you owe us. We are here to demand for what you say that you have for us. So, of it all, we have laid down a 7-point program for the students, which entails effective representation to the entire students' body. That goes to even the distance students. It is well known that even our guild constitution has nothing that shows that the distance students are ably represented. I will task my fellow candidates here to point any article in our entire guild constitution that says that we are, all the entire students are represented, coming from the weekend students and the distance students. So, as Tazan Mpanga and my team, we are here to look at effective representation for everyone. And we are here to give ourselves as leaders to the entire students. We are tired of leaders who come and hide from us as students. You elect a leader today and then you start looking for one of them by shot. Yet you elected them to be your representatives. So we are here to give effective representation to the students.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mpanga. Let's go and hear from Mr. Nsereko Joseph, also a lawyer in making. Mr. Nsereko, tell us about yourself and why you think among the 3 men you are the best to take this seat.
Thank you so much. Protocol observed. NKUMBA students, I know you're watching. My name is Nsereko Joseph. I'm a 3rd year law student and I'm aspiring for guild president. Well, I'm a strugglist and I'm an activist. I'm under National Unity Platform and currently the flag bearer. Well, in this race, one of the things that we need in NKUMBA University is change. And this time around, we need a greater change, and it starts with us. I've looked at a few things in our university that have been oppressing us. Seriously, as students, we have a lot that pains us at heart. The things that are going on in our university need someone who is ready to serve. And I present to you myself as the best candidate to do so. One of the things that I'll be looking at, I'll put humanity first. I'll restore the student's voice. bridge the gap between the administration and the university, the administration and the students' body. And then also, I'm going to make sure that I promote our university to becoming a greater university. If Makerere is great, why not NKUMBA University? So under my service as a guild president, these are some of the things that I'll look at. Thank you so much.
Okay, I'll start with you. My very first question will go your side. What are the roles of a guild president in a university?
First and foremost, a guild president is a student representative. Let me say he's the first citizen, is the first student citizen in a university. And a guild president has to make sure that he reaches out the voice of a student to the administration. Because ideally, these students are so many, and they need one person to send their voice to the Senate, to send their voice to the university administration, and to assert their rights. And a lot is done with him, but the core value is representation and asserting the rights of students.
Thank you so much. Mr. Mpanga, what are the roles of a guild president? This is the office you want to take. What are the roles of a guild president? What do you think you're supposed to do when you get to that office?
Well, the guild president has a number of roles he's entitled to, or to do to give the students. One is effective representation. As a number of students, not everyone will have to air out their grievances or their views on a certain issue. So the guild president, in his capacity, he sits at the Senate, where policies are made in the university, and he airs or represents the students' views through the cabinet or the different positions laid down in our guild constitution. The guild president, with his government, also look at a number of economic issues, that is to the betterment of the students. We also look at a number of things, because as the president, he who leads the executive also has the legislature and the judiciary, which he works with. And this looks at a number of issues, because the university itself, as the management, may try to impose issues that students do not align themselves with. So the president makes up a committee that is the executive, which will have to look at all the policies that students have to align themselves with or identify themselves with.
Thank you so much. Let's hear from Mr. Mushabe. Mr. Mushabe, what are the roles of a guild president, the office that you want to take?
Thank you so much. The roles of the guild president, this is the person who is the connection between students and the administration. One, if you're the guild president and you don't have a shared vision, that means what you're doing is not necessary. This is the person who stands in to make sure that you have a new mode of leadership. A guild president is the person who should let students have the shared vision. Let students sit down and have their representatives, the views that they have. We intermediate and make sure that we have a very good connection between students and the administration. You have to let students rule themselves. You need to let students have rules that are taking them. Do not come and drive students from their representation. Do not sit on the views of students. You are there to make sure students are well represented. Bring the new mode of governance inside students. You settle all the challenges and make sure that you are now sorted to go and reach the administration. Let's have a very good environment between students before we reach the administration. Now, after having settled each and everything, and now we intermediate with the administration. We have very good views represented, and no student should be oppressed.
Okay. Guild presidency is an opportunity to tap into the politics of this country. What do you think?
True. Politics do not begin from anywhere. You don't come from the blue and you land in this system. You must be a good leader. You must have all the qualities. If you're a leader, if you know you're going to represent students, are you determined to fight for them? Do you know the qualities of a leader? Do you have the skills and experience before you get into these students? They have had a lot of challenges, and you are failing now to get into them. You are coming to bring your views, and you fail to represent them. This is something that you naturally know that you're going to come and represent students. When you reach on the Senate, this is the intermediation of administration and students. Come and approach students.
My question was, I'll repeat and give you just 30 seconds to answer me. Guild presidency in all universities is an opportunity that people use to tap into the politics of this country. What do you think?
I agree with that. This is the young generation that we are living in. The institution has the generation of young people that we are representing.
Yes.
The challenges other people outside face, they are the same challenges. They are not the same challenges that these people inside the university face, but they also have the challenges that feel be represented. The outside nature, the outside environment, when you get out of the institution, also the other people have challenges that are facing them. That's why they come up to have leaders that represent them and solve some of the issues. The same to the institution, that now students also have challenges that needs someone to solve them. That's why they come up to have leaders like us who are fighting for students. And I agree that it is well for students to have a leader of their choice that is fighting for the rights of students.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mushabe. Okay. Mr. Mpanga, guild presidency is an opportunity to tap into politics in this country. What do you think?
Thank you, thank you, moderator. Yes, I would agree with that. However, some may not make it. Yes, it is an opportunity to tap into the politics of this country. However, where you have a leader who is not good, it matters on how one has been the guild president. You are not going to be a guild president that does not care or does not look at what the students have sent you to do and think of going to the outside politics, because these are the very people that you will be representing outside there. They're the very people you will find in the community, and they will have to give the view they have about you, that while he was the guild president at NKUMBA, he did not give us what he promised, or he did not stand by his word. He did not give better service delivery to people. So it is a two-way thing. One, you may go there, and if you stick to the word, yes, you can tap into the political arena of the country, and yeah, you can make it. However, if you fail as the guild president, do not expect anyone outside in the community to take you as a serious politician or a serious leader or one who is ready to represent the students.
Let me talk to Mr. Nsereko. Guild presidency is an opportunity to tap into the politics of the nation. What do you think?
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. It is such an interesting question. Guild presidents and then the political arena of the country. Well, I think the country needs the young generation, and the guild president is a leader of, I think, I don't know how many, but it depends on the university. But normally guild presidents are heading a big number of youth, and these are the youths that will impact the future of the country tomorrow. The reason as to why National Unity Platform is now the strongest opposition party, it is because most of it is full of youths, and most of the ideologies are based on making the youth understand that this is our country and we must fight for it for a better tomorrow. So I think as a guild president, after leading a big number of youth, the motive doesn't stop there. It carries on maybe to parliament. You serve from there because the country needs you, because after serving the university, you do another job to also serve the country.
That is what I wanted.
Thank you so much.
Is that what you are looking for personally? Do you want to use this office to breed your political ambitions?
Personally, this is like a first step for me politically.
as people are looking at you as a candidate who wants to serve them as a guild president, it could be a different motive within you to use this as a stepping stone to be an MP, to be what? Is that your intention?
Well, putting political affiliations aside, we also have university internal, because now that brings us to external interest.
But you agreed with me that guild presidency is an opportunity to tap into the politics outside university.
Yes, I do agree.
Good, you're already attached to a political party. You're even branded. So do you want to use this platform of guild presidents in NKUMBA University to become an MP, an LC, what, sometime to come?
Definitely, I'm going to use this as an experience, as a leadership experience, and later on, in 2026, I'm going to come as maybe anything, maybe a councillor or an MP.
So do you want to serve these people as guild president, or you just want to use their office to learn how to be an MP?
No, well, it is both serving and experience.
Okay, so as you serve them, you will also use their office to learn.
To learn.
Wow, I'm sure they're watching. I'll start with you even with this one. As guild president, how much power do you have, and what is your role? Let me start with this one. What are the main challenges at NKUMBA University? What are the main challenges faced by the students community at NKUMBA University? In just 2 minutes.
Okay, thank you so much. I'll be brief. One of the challenge currently we are facing in NKUMBA University is the unfair tuition policy, especially on the part of functional fees. This is hurting so many because we've been studying online, and we've been using our own facilities, like buying data, you know. But when it comes to functional fees, you know, there is that money that is always supposed to cater for that and some other things. So ideally, we think that the university should think of maybe finding ways of maybe reducing the tuition a bit, because we are all, as a country, by the way, we are not economically so stable, I would say.
So the first challenge is
unfair tuition policy.
Thank you.
And then I also look at the unfavorable conditions for international students in our university. Well, we have international students, and these guys come from different countries. But when they come, first of all, they are overtaxed by the government on borders, you know, to come into this country. And then when they reach the university also, recently I saw the Electoral Commission issuing out the nomination fee to candidates. And surprisingly, when I looked at, because me, I'm a citizen, when I looked at my nomination fee, it was Ugandan shillings, but their nomination fee was maybe in dollars or something. So I think that is a bit unfair to them as international students. Then
now, with the challenges you have mentioned and those many others, what is your power as a guild president, and what would be your role in solving all of that?
My power as a guild president, looking at myself in the office, what can I do to really solve the problems? One, always problems are solved by negotiations first. You negotiate, okay, you look for the solution, and then you negotiate with the people in power, because as a guild president, I'm not an independent person. Well, I'm working under a budget by the university, but well, always what we do, we negotiate, and just in case negotiations fail, we keep on trying and trying, and then maybe in case it all fails, we have all other constitutional measures that are provided for such in our guild constitution.
Thank you so much. Let me talk to Mr. Mpanga. Mr. Mpanga, how different are the roles of Senate and University Council?
Well, the University Council and Senate, the roles are not that much different, because
what does the Senate do and what does Council do?
The Senate represents, usually has, it is, I would take it as the main body. which has where students will have to appear in issues like examination malpractice, issues that are that is where you will find the top administrators, the vice chancellors, the board, the deans, and then council still.
Senate has the vice chancellor and the deans.
Yes.
What does it do? What is their role?
It makes policies of the university, policies that affect the students either advantageously or disadvantageously.
Does council do that as well?
Yes, still, it also influences.
So why do we have a council and a senate, two bodies doing the same work?
Well, senate usually is made up of only university management. Then you find that council, still you have the allowance of students being represented there.
Okay, let me talk to Mr. The NRM member. How many private universities do we have currently in Uganda in the first place?
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
As per now, we have not done the thorough research to know, because of recent,
You
there is
the
also
who?
a certain institution that has been opened up. So I will need maybe to do more research, and we get to know the number of them.
Okay, why did I ask you that? Yes. Private universities have proved to be too expensive. Just like your colleague here has mentioned, they have proved to be so expensive in terms of fees, tuition, function fees, and all that. When are you voting?
On Saturday.
Supposing they declare you, what kind of policy are you coming in with to ensure a difference in NKUMBA among all the private universities we have in Uganda? They're so big, the big number that you do not know.
Thank you so much. Some of the...
in the first place, why do you think they are so expensive?
Private institutions tend to have limited funds when it comes to funding of the institution and smooth running of studies. They invest in by themselves, or investors. And we've heard that there is a little bit of the limit from the government funding to fund these institutions. They tend to be so expensive because they have limited funding when it comes to represent their investments.
Okay. Why do you think we need then to touch how much they charge our children, our students, if they invest?
Yeah.
So are you in support of the expensive, the high rates of tuition they
Thank
charge
you so
because
much.
you support that?
As a person now coming in with the NRM ticket,
Yes.
we first of all had a board that we had to sit and see how we can come into these institutions and have a change. A private institution, they tend to have a chance of using the privacy. An institution being so private, they now tend to be so expensive, and they actually oppress the rights of students at a certain extent. Now, these are some of the solutions that we have always to put on board. These private institutions, as a person who is also coming from the party, the ruling party, we have now to come into the institution and say, yes, we've been affected by the pandemic. These institutions have not been earning money from students. Students have not been learning. How are we going to cope up? If it is a private institution, you as a person, we have now to base on the personal capability and responsibility. Can we please, we as representatives, we as leaders, can we please go and lobby and support students' projects?
I have a teaser question, just one for each one of you as we wind up. Mr. Nsereko, who is the State Minister for Disaster Preparedness currently in Uganda? You have 3 seconds.
For disaster, well, I've not addressed my mind to that.
Thank you so much. The State Minister for Disaster Preparedness in Uganda is the Honorable Davina Esther Anyakun. She's an MP from Karamoja. Let me go to Mr. Mpanga. What is Uganda's GDP per capita right now?
Well, Uganda's GDP per capita right now is at 42%.
Okay. The figures show $817.06 US. Let me talk to Mr. Mushabe as we wind up. Mr. Mushabe, which year did Uganda get her first university?
Well, it needs a thorough research.
We thank you so much. Uganda got her first university. That was Makerere University. It was established in 1922. To you watching Magic TV, we thank you so much for watching. My name is Michael Jordan Lukomwa. We were here having a presidential debate for guild presidential candidates of NKUMBA University who are having their elections in just a few days to come. On the extreme end, in a yellow necktie, that is Mr. Mushabe Lawrence. He's a member of the National Resistance Movement and is standing on their ticket. He's also a student, third year, Bachelor of Mass Comm. He wants to be like me. Then number 2 in the middle is an independent candidate, a lawyer in making, third year, Mr. Mpanga Tazan, and the man with a beret on his head is Mr. Nsereko Joseph, a member of the National Unity Platform, also a student of laws in NKUMBA University, third year. We thank you so much for watching. That is all we had for you in this segment. We wish the winner the best. Bye-bye.